My girlfriend rolled her eyes and said, "Leave. You'll realize I'm the best you'll ever get and come back like all the others." After belittling me over dinner, I said, "You'll be the last," cashed in my savings, and took the promotion 2 states over. When my first pay stub hit, almost triple what I used to make, her text came through. "Can we talk?" I, 28, male, sat across from Maya, 27, at the restaurant where we had our first date 2 years ago. She rolled her eyes mid-sentence while I was explaining why I felt hurt by her comment at her friend's party. Her fork clinked against the plate. She set it down, leaned back, and said the words that ended everything. "If you're this sensitive, just leave. You'll realize I'm the best you'll ever get and come back like all the others." I looked at her. The candle between us flickered. Around us, couples laughed, clinked glasses, celebrated. We sat in silence. I pulled my wallet out. I left 2 20s on the table, enough to cover both meals and the tip. I stood. "You'll be the last," I said. She laughed. A short, sharp sound. She thought I was bluffing. I walked out of that restaurant, got in my car, and drove straight to my apartment. I opened my laptop. The email from my recruiter sat in my inbox, subject line: Senior Product Manager, Boston office, final offer inside. I had been stalling on that email for 3 weeks. The salary was nearly triple what I made. The role was everything I wanted. The only catch was the move, 2 states over, far from everything I knew. I clicked reply and typed 2 words: "I accept." That night, I cashed in my savings. Within a week, I was gone. Maya and I started dating 2 years ago at a mutual friend's birthday party. She was magnetic, confident, the kind of person who walked into a room and made people lean in. At first, I thought her directness was refreshing. She called things as she saw them. No filter. When I wore a shirt she didn't like, she told me. When I mispronounced a word, she corrected me in front of everyone. When I got excited about a work project, she reminded me it was just a job. I convinced myself it was honesty, that she cared enough to keep me grounded. But honesty has a tone. Hers was sharp, cutting. It landed in front of other people, never in private. At her friend's engagement party 6 months in, I mentioned I was up for a team lead position. She laughed, loud enough for the table to hear, and said, "You? Managing people? Babe, you can't even manage to remember to take out the trash." Everyone laughed. I smiled, but something cracked inside me. She kept a rotation. 3 ex-boyfriends still in her contacts. She texted them openly, showed me the messages, said it proved she was mature and had healthy boundaries with her past. When I said it made me uncomfortable, she sighed and called me insecure. She compared me to them constantly. How one ex had a better car. How another traveled more. How a third actually had ambition. I started turning down networking events because she hated when I stayed out late. I stopped talking about career goals because she rolled her eyes every time. I ignored recruiter emails because taking a new role would mean change, and change would mean conflict. The Boston offer landed 3 weeks before that dinner. Senior Product Manager. Base salary of $142,000. Stock options. Relocation package. It was everything I had worked toward for 5 years. I didn't tell Maya. I knew what she would say. That Boston was too far. That I wasn't ready for that level. That I should be grateful for what I had. So I let the email sit. I told the recruiter I needed time. I kept showing up to my current job, a mid-level role paying $52,000 a year with no upward path, and I pretended I was fine. But that dinner, the eye roll, the laugh, it flipped something inside me. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my couch, laptop open, scrolling through old messages between Maya and me. January. I told her I got a raise. $3,000 more a year. She replied, "That's nice. My friend Sarah's boyfriend just got promoted to VP." March. I sent her a photo of a certification I earned. She wrote back, "Cool. When are you picking up dinner?" June. I mentioned a recruiter reached out about a senior role. She said, "Don't get your hopes up. Those people message everyone." Every achievement I shared, she minimized. Every mistake I made, she cataloged and brought up later in arguments. I opened her Instagram. I looked at the profiles of her exes. One was a guy named Derek. He used to post gym photos, travel shots, career updates. After Maya, his posts dropped to once every few months. Quiet photos, solo trips, a bio that just said, "Keeping it simple." Another ex, Marcus, had been a startup founder. His LinkedIn showed he left that company 6 months after they broke up and took a low-level analyst job in a different city. I saw the pattern. She didn't just date men. She diminished them. She kept them small enough to control, and when they started to grow or question her, she replaced them. I was next in line. The Boston offer wasn't just a job. It was proof. Proof that I wasn't what she said I was. Proof that someone else saw value in me, saw leadership, saw potential. I opened the recruiter's email and hit reply. Hi, Jacob. I'm ready to move forward. Can we discuss a start date in mid-September? I'll need about 6 weeks to relocate. I researched Boston neighborhoods. I looked at one-bedroom apartments in areas near the office. I calculated costs. First month, last month, security deposit, moving truck, furniture. I had $14,000 in savings. It would be tight, but it would work. I didn't tell Maya. I didn't tell anyone. For the next 2 weeks, I showed up to dinners with her like nothing had changed. I nodded when she critiqued my shirt. I smiled when she joked about my boring job in front of her friends. But I wasn't hurt anymore. I was calculating. She had no idea the clock was already ticking. I signed the offer letter on a Tuesday morning at 6:47 a.m. I saved the PDF to my desktop. Senior Product Manager, base salary $142,000, start date September 12th. I gave my notice at work that same day. My manager was surprised but supportive. He shook my hand and said, "You're going to kill it up there." I booked the moving truck. U-Haul, 15-foot, pickup scheduled for August 28th at 9 a.m. reservation number 8842 PLK. Then I called Maya. "Coffee tomorrow?" I asked. "Sure, babe. Miss you." We met at a Starbucks halfway between our apartments. Public. Neutral. I got there early, sat at a corner table, ordered a black coffee I didn't drink. She walked in wearing sunglasses, even though it wasn't sunny. She kissed my cheek and sat down. "So," she said, smiling, "what's this about?" "I'm ending the relationship," I said. Her smile froze. She pulled her sunglasses off. "What?" "I'm moving to Boston. I accepted a job offer. I'm leaving in 3 weeks." She laughed. The same sharp sound from the restaurant. "Boston? You don't even know anyone in Boston. You're going to leave me, leave everything, for some random job?" "Yes." "This is because of the dinner, isn't it?" "Babe, I was joking. You know I joke. You're being dramatic." "I'm not being dramatic. I'm leaving." She leaned forward, her voice dropping. "You won't last a week. You'll be back here begging me to take you back, just like always." "I've never begged you for anything." She stared at me. Her face shifted. Disbelief, then anger. "You're serious?" "Yes." "You can't just leave. We've been together for 2 years. You owe me a conversation. You owe me an explanation." "I don't owe you anything." "Fine. Leave. But don't come crying to me when it doesn't work out. Don't text me when you're lonely. Don't call me when you realize you made a mistake." I pulled her apartment key from my pocket and set it on the table between us. "I won't," I said. I stood. She grabbed my wrist. "Wait. Let's talk about this. We can work it out." I didn't mean what I said at dinner. I was stressed. You know I didn't mean it. I pulled my arm free gently but firmly. "Goodbye, Maya." I walked out. She didn't follow. The call from Boston came 3 days later. Update 1. I packed my apartment in 2 days. Clothes, books, my desk, my bed. I sold the couch and the TV to a neighbor for $300. I didn't need them. I wanted the move to feel light. On August 28th, I loaded the U-Haul at 9:14 a.m. I drove 900 miles in 14 hours. I stopped twice for gas and once for coffee. I listened to podcasts the entire way. I didn't think about Maya. I didn't think about the restaurant. I just drove. I reached Boston at 11:40 p.m. I unloaded into my new apartment in Cambridge, a one-bedroom with hardwood floors and a view of the Charles River. Rent was $2,100 a month, almost double what I paid before, but I could afford it now. I slept on an air mattress that first night. The apartment was empty except for boxes. I woke up at 6 a.m. to the sound of runners outside my window. September 12th. First day. The office was a glass tower in the Seaport District. My badge said Senior Product Manager, Growth Team. I met my manager, Elena, a woman in her 40s with 2 decades in product leadership. She shook my hand and said, "We're glad you're here. We need someone who can move fast." The team was 12 people. Engineers, designers, analysts. All sharp, all focused. We had a product launch in 6 weeks. Budget, $2 million. Timeline, aggressive. Pressure, high. I loved it. At my old job, I had fought for $10,000 to run a single A/B test. Here, Elena handed me a $2 million campaign and said, make it work. I worked 12-hour days. I built decks, ran strategy sessions, coordinated with engineering. I felt alive. Meanwhile, my phone buzzed. Maya's first text came on September 15th. I hope you're happy. You just threw away 2 years for nothing. September 17th. You're going to regret this. September 19th. I talked to Sarah. She said long distance could work. We could try. September 21st. I miss you. September 23rd. Please just call me. September 24th. Fine. I don't need you anyway. September 24th, 11:47 p.m. I'm sorry. Can we talk? I didn't respond to any of them. I read each one, felt nothing, and kept working. On September 24th, after the 7th message, I blocked her number. Then the first paycheck hit my account. Update 2, September 30th. Friday, 9:14 a.m. My phone buzzed with a notification from my banking app. Deposit, $4,050 from, company name, payroll. I opened the app. I stared at the number. My previous take-home had been $2,900 a month after taxes. This was one paycheck. Bi-weekly. I logged into the payroll portal and pulled up the pay stub. Gross, $5,461.54. Federal tax, $892. State tax, $287. Social Security, $338. Medicare, $79. Health insurance, $145. 401k contribution, 6%, $327. Net, $4,050. I did the math. That was $8,100 a month. My old salary had been $52,000 a year, roughly $3,200 take-home after everything. This was $97,200 take-home annually, plus stock options that vested quarterly. I screenshotted the pay stub. I saved it to a folder on my desktop labeled Receipts. I didn't know why I saved it. I just felt like I needed proof. Proof that I had made the right call. Proof that I wasn't the person Maya said I was. That afternoon, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Can we talk? I recognized the phrasing. The lack of introduction. The assumption I would know who it was. Maya. She had gotten a new number or was texting from a friend's phone. I didn't respond. I didn't block the number. I just left it on read. 2 days later, October 2nd, a mutual friend named Carla called me. Hey, she said. How's Boston? Good. Really good. That's great. Listen, I wanted to give you a heads up. Maya's been asking about you. She's trying to find out if you're seeing anyone, where you're living, how the job is going. What did you tell her? Nothing. I told her you moved, and that's all I know. But she's persistent. She called me twice yesterday. She said she made a mistake and wants to fix things. I exhaled slowly. Carla, I appreciate you letting me know, but I'm not interested in reconnecting with her. Can you please not share anything about me with her? I'd rather keep that door closed. Of course. I figured. I just wanted to warn you in case she tries to reach out. She already did. From a different number. Yeah, that sounds like her. We talked for a few more minutes. Carla asked about the job, the city, my apartment. I kept it brief. Friendly, but distant. I didn't want to give her details she might accidentally pass along. When I hung up, I looked at the unknown number again. The message still sat there, unanswered. Can we talk? No, I thought. We can't. I didn't know it yet, but she had seen my LinkedIn update. Update 3, October 12th. I updated my LinkedIn. New title, Senior Product Manager. New company logo. New city, Boston, Massachusetts. I didn't think much of it. It was a professional update. Standard. 3 days later, my profile analytics showed Maya had viewed my page 8 times. Twice on October 12th. 3 times on October 13th. 3 times on October 14th. She didn't send a connection request. She didn't message. She just watched. Then the Instagram DM started. October 16th, 11:34 p.m. Wow, Boston. Big move. October 18th, 2:47 p.m. Congrats on the new job. October 20th, 9:12 a.m. I've been thinking about us a lot. October 22nd, 10:03 p.m. I know I messed up. Can we just talk? Please. October 24th, 1:28 a.m. I miss you. I didn't open any of them. I let them sit in my message requests, unread. The phone calls started next. Unknown numbers. Different area codes. Sometimes 3 in one day. I didn't answer. I let them go to voicemail. She never left a message. On October 28th, an old coworker from my previous job, a guy named Tim, sent me a text. "Hey man, Maya reached out to me asking for your new number. I didn't give it to her, but thought you should know." I replied, "Thanks for the heads up. Please don't share anything about me with her." "Got it." She seemed pretty desperate, man. Said she needed to talk to you about something important. "There's nothing important. I appreciate you looking out." I changed my LinkedIn privacy settings so only first-degree connections could see my activity. I set my Instagram to private. I blocked the unknown numbers that had called more than once. Meanwhile, my work life kept climbing. On November 8th, Elena called me into her office. "I'm assigning you a second product line," she said. "You've crushed the first launch. The exec team is impressed. They want you leading the Q1 initiative as well. 2 product lines." 8 weeks into the job, on November 15th, I received an email invitation to the company's annual leadership summit. December 3rd through 5 in New York. I was assigned a speaking slot, driving growth through cross-functional alignment. I was presenting in front of VPs and C-suite leaders. 3 months into a new job, I forwarded the summit invite to my parents. My dad called me that night. "I'm proud of you, son. You made the right call." "Thanks, Dad. Your mom and I were worried when you told us about the breakup and the move. But you're doing great. We can see it." I smiled. It felt good to hear. By Thanksgiving, the contrast was undeniable. Carla called again the week before Thanksgiving. "I need to tell you something," she said. "Maya lost her job." I didn't say anything. I just listened. She got fired 2 weeks ago. Performance review cited interpersonal conflicts and inability to work with her team. Apparently, she had been fighting with her manager for months. "I'm sorry to hear that," I said. I meant it. I didn't wish harm on her. I just didn't want to be part of her life anymore. "There's more," Carla continued. Derek, one of her exes, posted screenshots on Twitter. She had been trying to get back with him. The messages were bad, manipulative, gaslighting. He captioned it, "This is what emotional abuse looks like." I exhaled. "A lot of people have been distancing themselves from her," Carla said. "Not just because of you. Because of how she treats everyone. We just didn't see it clearly until now." "I appreciate you telling me," I said. "But I've moved on. I hope she figures things out, but it's not my problem anymore." "I know. I just thought you should know. She's been spiraling, trying to date, but it never lasts more than a few weeks. The pattern repeats." We hung up. I sat with the information for a moment, then let it go. That weekend, my manager Elena invited the team to her house for Thanksgiving. I almost declined. It felt too personal, too soon. But she insisted. "You're part of the team now," she said. "Come. Bring nothing but yourself." I went. The house was warm. Her family was kind. The food was incredible. I laughed more that night than I had in months. On November 18th, I joined a running club. Monday and Thursday mornings, 6:30 a.m., along the Charles River. I met a designer named Priya, an engineer named Jake, a consultant named Melissa. We grabbed coffee after runs. We became friends. On November 22nd, I went on a casual date. Coffee with a woman named Lauren I met through a mutual work connection. It wasn't serious, just easy. We talked about books, travel, career pivots. She didn't belittle me once. She didn't compare me to anyone. She just listened. I wasn't ready for anything serious, and I told her that. She smiled and said, "Me neither." This was nice, though. It was. I walked home that night feeling lighter than I had in years. My apartment had furniture now, art on the walls, plants by the window, a life. I didn't celebrate Maya's collapse. I just noticed it and kept running. 6 months. That's how long it had been since I walked out of that restaurant. In 6 months, I had moved 900 miles, tripled my income, led 3 product launches, built a new community, and become someone I actually respected. The person who sat across from Maya, absorbing her eye rolls and dismissive laughs, felt like a stranger now. I couldn't imagine tolerating that again. Not from anyone. By December, I was leading 3 product lines. Elena had assigned me 2 junior PMs to mentor. I spent Tuesday afternoons coaching them through strategy sessions, the same way I wish someone had coached me years ago. In January, Elena pulled me aside after a leadership meeting. "We're opening a director role in February," she said. "I want you to apply. You've earned it." Director. 7 months into the job. I nodded. I didn't doubt myself. I just said, "I'll apply." That same week, my phone buzzed. Unknown number again. I almost deleted it without reading. But I opened it. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I've been working on myself. Therapy. Real changes. I miss you. I miss us. Can we try again? One more chance. I stared at the message. I felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. No temptation. I typed back. I wish you well. Then I blocked the number. Permanently this time. 2 days later, my first annual bonus hit my account. $15,000. Pre-tax. I opened my laptop and booked a trip. Iceland. March 10th through 17. Solo. A year ago, I had mentioned Iceland to Maya. She had laughed and said, "Why would you waste money on that? It's just ice and overpriced fish." I smiled at the memory now. Not with bitterness. Just with clarity. I wasn't wasting money. I was investing in myself. The trip was 7 weeks away. I started researching hiking routes, thermal pools, northern lights tours. I bought a new camera. I planned my itinerary with the same focus I used to build product roadmaps. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, I didn't think about Maya once. I worked late, grabbed dinner with Priya and Jake, and went home to finish a book I had been reading. On February 28th, I submitted my application for the director role. On March 10th, I boarded a flight to Reykjavik. I sat in my window seat, looking out at the runway as the plane taxied. I thought about that dinner. The eye roll, the laugh, the words, "You'll be back like all the others." She had been so certain, so confident in her narrative, so sure I needed her more than I needed myself. She was wrong. I wasn't running from her anymore. I wasn't running from anything. I was running toward a life I built. A life where my value wasn't determined by someone else's insecurity. A life where I didn't have to shrink to make someone else feel big. The plane lifted off. Boston disappeared below me. Iceland waited ahead. And I felt free.